grassroots over there led me from being that helper to this candidate, that candidate, to being a chief of staff to a governor, to being the state treasurer, and then to being the governor. And it was during that time of Ronald Reagan. I was a delegate for him in 76, 80, 84, and he asked me in 88 to chair the Republican National Platform Committee.
Oh, this guest, she is an American patriot, an original Mama Grizzly, the first woman in the GOP elected to lead her state. And the mainstream media thinks that Hillary Clinton is the one who's breaking some perceived glass ceiling. You know, we're honored to welcome Governor Kay Orr from Nebraska. And Governor, you were the first. How did you know that that it was time for you to run? And, you know, you and I, we've talked about this perceived glass ceiling, going, what glass ceiling? You know, hey, doesn't matter. Just get out there and get the job done. How did you know it was time to do it, though?
Oh, Governor Palin, it's so good to be with you. It was a step-by-step process. It wasn't anything I set out to do. It's just that I love my country like you do. And I knew that the thing I needed to do was to be a volunteer. I mean, the people are the government. So I set out and was a good volunteer, did my job, did another job, moved up the ladder, just escalated up there till finally I helped a man get elected as governor. He took me on as his chief of staff. While he was governor, there was a vacancy in the treasurer's office. I took the bold step, not really bold when you're appointed to office, but I thought it was a bold step. And that taught me then in that election as state treasurer, I could do that. I could get out on that campaign trail. And then when there was an opening for the governor's office, because of all those years, like you, I had people who encouraged me, supported me, helped me, and they said, Kay, do it, run.
Well, one of those supporting you, we know that a leader who adored you, helped mentor you, and certainly respected you was President Reagan. And President Reagan, in his last state dinner, he asked you to be right there by his side, literally. What was your relationship with him? What was that like?
Well, it was wonderful, and it started a long time ago. And people who are loyal to one another remember one another. It's kind of like you remember those who brought you to the dance, or whatever it is that saying. Anyway, I was 76 supporting Ronald Reagan, and I supported him a year before he even went to that convention. He never forgot that. And of course, along the way, there were other opportunities to demonstrate my support. Came to campaign for me and many things. And then finally, that last state dinner when Margaret Thatcher was his guest, I was just bowled over to find myself seated to the left of the president as the next guest of honor after his honored guest.
What a divine appointment, divine connection, and of course that leading to you helping so many other conservative, common sense conservatives, independents, those who maybe aren't quite yet registered over on the right side of the aisle, but you're helping them to understand how valuable protection of our Constitution is, all the good lessons that you have taught so many of us. Another special thing that you're doing is being a part of the esteemed Hillsdale College. And interesting, the school's mission there is in gratefulness to God for the blessings resulting from the prevalence of civil and religious liberty and intelligent piety in the land, believing that the diffusion of sound learning is essential to the perpetuity of these. Now, that is a change from conventional schools. How does Hillsdale do it, and what's your role there?
Well, I am a trustee of the college. The college was established in 1844, and from the very beginning, they've had the defense of liberty and the pursuit of truth has been the model for their students. And from the very beginning, they admitted people of color, and it was one of the first private colleges to give a 4-year degree to women. I don't have the time today to tell you all the good things about Hillsdale, but of course I'm very proud that my oldest and first grandson is a graduate of Hillsdale, Taylor Gage, and works as communications for Governor Ricketts. The second son that graduated from Hillsdale is an administrative assistant to a state senator. And there are 3 other boys, one going off to be a junior, the next one going off to be a sophomore. 16-year-old hasn't decided where he's going to go to school. But the mother of those 5 boys, who homeschooled those boys until last December, is now the director of communications for the Attorney General. So you see, we're a very, very political family.
Well, you are a very proud and rightfully so matriarch of this very sharp, intelligent, patriotic family, and we so admire you. I understand that one of those grandsons perhaps helped connect us today with the Skype and all the technical things that they know more about than I do. I don't know about you.
That's very true. Actually, the first one that was given that duty had to be off with the governor today, so got another techie-minded grandson, and he stepped right in to help. He's right around the corner. But Hillsdale is a great place, Governor Palin. I know you have spoken to Hillsdale people. I hope you'll come back again to the campus sometime and see those students. They inspire me. They would inspire you, give you hope for the future. They are so deeply in love with this country and so well schooled and prepared at that school to take leadership roles, whether they're in the classroom or whether they're going to be politics, whatever their field of endeavor.
Well,
they're solid.
Hillsdale is fortunate to have you and vice versa there. And I know that monthly, I love to get their newsletters, and I'm inspired by the newsletters, and then I take so much from that into my interviews, my speeches, and very valuable. But keep up the good work. I can't tell you how much I admire you. So many Americans do. I just wish that more Americans knew your story. You're so humble, and you don't seek any kind of spotlight. You just do the job that's got to be done, and that's admirable. But man, get out there as much as you can, Governor Orr, because we love you. We need you.
Well, thank you very much, Governor Palin. And I am still at work. I'm working very hard to get women and men here in Nebraska to run for the state legislature. Our field of endeavor is right in front of us. I love my state as well as I love my country, but my focus now is to be right here. And it is my hope that even tomorrow I'm going to meet with a woman who is thinking about running for the legislature. Trouble with the women, they're so dynamic and passionate and want to help, but they need that really extra push to convince them they're ready to go. They have the resources, intelligence, moral character. They can be a good political office. They can hold political office, but they think they have to sit on the sidelines for years. And you and I know that's not the case.
Well, you have just been such an amazing role model, not just for me, but for others across this nation. Keep up that great work. And I thank you so much for joining us today, Governor Kay Orr. Now coming up,